Now, it's a month since we launched our Face Your Smear campaign, and today the government has launched its first cervical screening TV advert, encouraging women to attend their smear tests. And since launching our campaign, we've had nearly 15,000 of you, our viewers, pledge to make your smear appointment. So thank you for doing that. And once you've made the appointment, you don't have to make it, you actually have to turn up, so please make sure you do that. And our first guest today is here to share the very personal reason why she's backing our Face Your Smear campaign. Please welcome Coronation Street's Kym Marsh.
It's gorgeous.
Well, thank you very much for backing our campaign, because, you know, we think it's a really important one. And this goes back 10 years for you, a really terrible time in your life.
Yeah.
You sadly lost your beautiful baby boy, Archie.
Yeah.
And then you thought, I really need to go for my smear test. What happened then?
So I lost Archie in the February. And it was sadly when Jade Goody then passed away in March. I think was it Mother's Day or around Mother's Day? And after everything that just happened to me, and then seeing that, was obviously quite an emotional time. And I just thought, I need to make sure that I go and have my smear test. So it was just like a push, like I need to go and do it. And upon doing that, I was then told that I had precancerous cells. So you can imagine that I was absolutely terrified, distraught, wasn't in the best place mentally anyway. And yeah, so luckily for me, it was caught early, and they were able to treat me and remove those successfully.
So how quickly did you have to have treatment? What did that treatment consist of?
So you have like a colposcopy, and they have a look at, you know, your cells, they grade them, they decide what's the best treatment for you. And for me, it was by using a LETS, which kind of is a hot, like a wire almost, to remove them. And then you then have to go and once that's kind of healed, you then have to go and have another checkup to see whether they've all been successfully taken. And luckily for me.
Do you often think what might have happened if you hadn't have gone for that smear?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Well, if I hadn't, who knows? I mean, I think the thing is about cervical cancer is it is treatable. It's so treatable if it's found at the right time. And so I can't, you know, I do this a lot on social media, and I'm always a big kind of champion of this, because it's so important. And for what people might see as, oh, it's really uncomfortable, or oh, I'm really scared, or it's a bit embarrassing.
Embarrassment is one of the things that comes through a lot.
Yeah,
from
and
women.
For the sake of 30 seconds of discomfort, or whatever, you know, it could save your life. So it's so important. So go and do it.
So have you had check-ups since then? How often do you go to smear tests now?
So after that, I had to have a regular one every year, and that went on for 3 years. And then after that, they say you can return back to 3 years once it seems to be the all clear. But I think, you see, the problem I have is that I believe that the age restrictions are madness. And I know what the doctors say about, you know, the fact that under 25, you know, your cells haven't quite, you know, grown yet, or whatever it is that they say, and so that you can get false positives.
Yes.
But for me, I feel as soon as a woman is sexually active, or particularly, especially when they've had children, because a lot of people are having children young. My daughter, for one, who's 21 now, they should be having smear tests, as far as I'm concerned.
We had Dr. Zoe on the programme recently, and she said the reason under 25s aren't invited for screening is because cervical cancer is actually very rare in women under 25, very rare.
Yeah.
And so I suppose the resources, you know, and it's not a bottomless pit of money that the NHS has got to be focused on the group where it's more prevalent, is what they're saying at the moment. And also, when you're under 25, it's common to have changes in the cells of your cervix anyway. So something could look abnormal, but actually will sort itself out.
Yeah.
So there are reasons for that. But I know lots of people do think that, you know, that maybe when you're sexually active. But the main thing is, at the moment, as it stands at the moment, people get called for their smear test, is you should go, please go.
Absolutely go. Make sure you do. As soon as I get my reminder, I'm there. You know, they're probably sick of seeing me, to be honest. It's so important, though. I think it's, you know, a message that we need to get out there, and, you know, please do it.
Yeah, well, we're getting the message out really well with our Face Your Smear campaign. As I said, nearly 15,000 of you have agreed to take that pledge and sign up. So please, let's get that number up today. By the end of this show, we'd love for more of you to go online and pledge Face Your Smear. That's our Face Your Smear campaign. Details there of our website will be on your screen. Your daughter, you talked about being a grandma there.
How are you feeling about that? Are you excited, nervous?
I am so excited, and you know Emily, don't you? And do you know what? She's a wonderful kid, and I actually, it was a big shock for all of us when we found out that she was pregnant. But we're so excited, all of us, and she's had a wonderful pregnancy.
Has she?
Yeah, she's not had any sickness. She's just been sailed through it, and she's still working 40-hour weeks. She's still.
How old were you when you had David, your eldest?
So I was 18 when I had David, and 21 when I had Emily. So
And she's 21 now.
And she's 21 now. And she's having a little boy.
So you're giving her lots of tips about being a young mum, and.
Do you know what? I think she's quite clued up on it all, because I had Polly when Emily was, you know, a teenager. So I think she's kind of seen
what it entails,
and knows how difficult it is.
There's a lot of women say, "Oh, it makes me feel old being a grandma. I don't want to be a grandma. It makes me feel old." Have you felt that?
Young grandma's
How do
great.
you feel you're going to be 42?
Yeah.
That's a very young age to be a grandma.
I know.
How do you feel about that?
Do you know what? I'm really excited. Although I have said you're not allowed to, you can't call me grandma or nana.
What are you going to be?
Lolly, I decided on, which sounds a very strange thing to be called, but I went on these websites and had a look at alternative names for grandparents. I was like really stressing about it, and there was Lolly and Pop. So we would be Lollipop.
Lollipop.
I like that. That is cute.
Now, we can't have you here without asking you about Corrie. We've all seen in the papers that you're leaving. We're gutted. Can't believe it. How are you feeling about it? 13 years you've been there, isn't it?
13 years, yeah. It has flown by, and I've had such a wonderful time on that show, and I've learnt so much, and I've made friends for life. But it's time for me to take a little break. And I just want to try some other things and give it a little go, stretch my wings, scratch a few itches.
Emily's actually at home thinking, great, she's going to be at home for baby.
I was going to say, you're talking about grandma duties.
Little break, make it sound like you're definitely going back.
Well, I've said I'm taking a break, so yeah, I think it's just a break for me. I think being there for 13 years without taking any time away.
But I did read that they're not killing you off.
Well, I hope not.
No. The door is open, as they say.
Yeah,
the door is open.
Yeah.
I'm just being told that the number of people pledging on our website has gone over 15,000. There you are. I'm sure that's got a lot to do with you being here today and sharing that story. So thank you very much for doing that. Kym Marsh, everybody.